Hello, welcome to another episode of Retail Focus. I'm John Suder, and my co-host Bart Mraz is out on assignment this week, so it'll be a brief but jam-packed episode. First story, is Apple buying Perplexity? This week, the tech world has been buzzing with rumors that Apple is considering its biggest ever acquisition, buying Perplexity AI, the fast-growing AI search startup known for its conversational ChatGPT-style search engine. Multiple reports say Apple's mergers and acquisitions chief, Adrian Perica, has held early-stage talks with Perplexity's leadership over the last few months. Senior Apple execs, including Eddie Q, are reportedly involved, but no formal offer has been made yet. Apple is exploring two main options, a full acquisition or a strategic partnership, where Perplexity's AI tech will be embedded into iOS, Safari, or even a revamped Siri. It's to note that Samsung and even Meta reportedly eyed similar moves with Perplexity. If Apple moves first, it would block key competitors. The move comes as Apple faces mounting pressure to catch up in AI, especially after delays to its Apple Intelligence features and criticism that Siri lags behind competitors like Google and Meta. Perplexity's AI-powered search is seen as a potential foundation for Apple's own search engine, particularly important if Apple's lucrative deal to make Google the default search on iPhones is threatened by ongoing antitrust trials. So why does this matter? If Apple pulls the trigger, this would be its largest acquisition ever and a clear signal that it's serious about competing in the next wave of AI-powered search and assistance. For Perplexity, it could mean instant integration into hundreds of millions of Apple devices, supercharging its reach and resources. So what's next? Talks are in the early stages, and there's no guarantee a deal will happen. Perplexity has said it is not aware of any ongoing or planned acquisition, and Apple is staying silent. The outcome may hinge on the results of the antitrust case with Google. If Apple is forced to find a new default search partner, Perplexity could become a strategic alternative. In short, Apple is seriously considered by Perplexity to boost its AI search and assistant capabilities, but for now, it's all just talk. No deal has been made. The news of this potential partnership or acquisition with Perplexity comes as Apple faces heavy scrutiny from antitrust regulators over its $18 billion agreement with Google, which ensures Google Search is the default search engine on all Apple devices. If the acquisition or partnership agreement goes through, this could reduce Apple's reliance on Google, keeping regulators happy alongside accelerating Siri's AI capabilities. The tech world is watching closely to see if this rumored acquisition will reshape the future of search on Apple devices. But remember, everything is speculative at this point, only internal discussions. No deal yet. So this would be Apple's biggest acquisition at $14 billion. This beats Apple's previous record, Beats, which was only $3 billion, but that was a long time ago, so who knows. Talks are still in the early stages and conditional, so no deal signed or formally underway, so we'll keep an eye on this one. All right, next story. As we reported about OpenAI and Jony Ive, Jony Ive, the legendary designer between the iPhone, and Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, are teaming up to create a new kind of AI-powered device. Their goal, to deliver a computing experience that's less socially disruptive than a smartphone. Think of it as a bold attempt to fix some of the problems that the iPhone itself has introduced. The project, still in its early days, is being funded by Ive and Laureen Powell Jobs' Emerson Collective, with hopes to raise up to $1 billion by year's end. The team is small but mighty, including former Apple design leaders Tang Tan and Evans Hankey, and is working on a massive new office in San Francisco. But this partnership hit a roadblock this week. It actually hit a major speed bump. Here's what went down. Last month, OpenAI, as we reported, announced a $6.5 billion deal to acquire IO Products, a hardware startup co-founded by Jony Ive. The goal was to build the groundbreaking AI device, which with big promises from both OpenAI, Sam Altman, and Jony Ive about its potential. But enter the legal drama. IYO, a smaller AI hardware startup, claimed that OpenAI's new IO branding was too similar to their own and could confuse customers. Notably, IYO had pitched its ideas to both Altman and Ive's teams back in 2022, laying the groundwork for their trademark claim. On Friday, June 20, a federal judge agreed that IYO's case was strong enough to proceed. Judge Trina Thompson issued a temporary restraining order, forcing OpenAI, Altman, and Ive to immediately stop using the IO name or anything that could be confusingly similar in any marketing or sales. Over the weekend, OpenAI scrubbed all mentions of Jony Ive partnership, and the I/O acquisition from its website and social media. If you visit the announcement page now, you'll just see a notice about the court order and a statement that OpenAI disagrees with the complaint and is reviewing its options. The site reads, "This page is temporarily down due to a court order following a trademark complaint from IYO about the use of the name IO. We don't agree with the complaint and are reviewing our options." IYO's CEO celebrated the ruling, making it clear the company would defend its brand no matter how rich and famous the competition. So what's next? Well, the legal battle is far from over. A full hearing is set for October, where the court will decide whether OpenAI and Ive can keep the IO branding or if they'll need to rebrand and potentially delay their hardware plans. For now, the partnership itself is still alive, only the marketing and branding are on pause. But the dispute threatens to delay one of the most anticipated hardware launches in the AI world. In short, OpenAI and Jony Ive's ambitious hardware project is stuck in legal limbo over a trademark dispute. All public promotion is paused, and the next big update will come at the October hearing. The tech world is watching to see if this dream team can clear the legal hurdles and deliver on their bold promises. So I went to the IO website, and they basically make so it says IYO1 is the world's first audio computer. Revolutionary new computer without a screen. It can run apps like your smartphone. The key difference is you talk to it through its natural language interface. So basically, it's not a headset, but it looks like a set of really cool earbuds. Definitely got a nice visual aesthetic to it. And I guess you're supposed to walk around with these in your ear. They almost look like those big gauges that people used to wear in their ears. It's like very round and pops in your ears. So if you want to check that out, it's at IYO.audio. That's IYO.audio. All right, final story for the day. Tesla Robotaxi trials. Tesla began public road testing of its driverless ride-sharing platform in Austin in late May 2025 with internal discussions targeting a June 12th launch date. The company was ahead of the June 30th deadline for its initial rollout. The Robotaxi pilot in Austin, Texas marks a major milestone in self-driving technology. But here's why we're reporting this. The launch has already drawn attention for both its innovation and its hiccups. So here's how the trials work. It's a limited rollout. The initial phase is deliberately small with only 10 to 20 vehicles and a select group of invited riders. And I heard that it's in a roped off section of Austin that while it's in the city, it's basically, cordoned off. Tesla has emphasized safety and caution, with CEO Elon Musk stating they are being super paranoid about safety. And they created a booking system, a dedicated app for booking robotaxi rides, functioning similarly to other ride-hailing platforms like Lyft and Uber. The company plans to expand the program gradually as it gathers more data and addresses safety concerns. So here's a rundown of the events and issues so far. So as I said, the service launched on June 22nd in Austin's South Congress neighborhood. It featured 10 to 20 Tesla Model Y robotaxis and was invite only. And again, the riders being mostly social media influencers. Each ride included a Tesla employee as a safety monitor in the passenger seat, and remote operators were available to intervene if necessary. But there were a few incidents. Austin's city dashboard recorded its first safety concern involving a Tesla robotaxi on East Altorf Street shortly after the launch. Details remain sparse, and the incident is still under review. There was erratic driving caught on camera. Multiple videos surfaced showing Tesla robotaxis behaving unpredictably. One vehicle drove down the wrong side of the road after failing to turn left at a marked intersection, then swerved several times before correcting itself. The passenger, a Tesla supporter, downplayed the risk, noted that there were no other vehicles nearby. Another robotaxi stopped abruptly in the road, possibly reacting to police car lights. In a separate incident, a robotaxi attempted a left turn too early, hesitated midsection, and then corrected its course, completing the turn further up the road. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating these incidents and has contacted Tesla for more information. The agency stated that it would take necessary action to protect road safety as it continues its assessment. So, Tesla isn't the first one that has created self-driving cars. Tesla's entry into robotaxi services puts it in direct competition with established autonomous vehicle players like Waymo and Zoox, both of which are conducting trials and expanding operations in the U.S. Now, Waymo, I believe, is way ahead of the game because they've racked up over 71 million miles without a human driver and is now operating robotaxi services in Phoenix, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Atlanta, and Austin, making it the first and only company in the U.S. offering fully autonomous rides in multiple major cities. The Austin trials are being closely watched as a test for broader robotaxi deployment across the country. In summary, despite a cautious approach, the service has already experienced several notable incidents and have prompted regulatory scrutiny and public debate about the readiness of fully autonomous vehicles on city streets. Trials continue, with Tesla and regulators monitoring developments closely. And Alphabet's $2 trillion market cap barely reflects Waymo's progress. At an estimated $45 billion valuation, Waymo remains just a sliver of Alphabet's portfolio, as it is visible to insiders, but largely overlooked by investors chasing more of those headline-grabbing AI or cloud stories. It's to be noted that Tesla has not yet launched a formal robotaxi product, but its stock continues to reflect the price in that potential. Its valuation heavily depends on the quick adoption of fully autonomous ride-hailing service, which could take years as consumer comfort and regulatory clarity improve, according to analysts. Alphabet, by contrast, can afford to be patient. Its revenue from search, YouTube, and cloud services provides a cushion that allows it to develop Waymo without the immediate pressure to monetize. For investors, it's a story of two autonomous features, one already operating in the real world and one still waiting to unfold. Now, personally, I would never set foot in a Tesla robotaxi because, as we've noted in previous podcasts, for some reason, Elon Musk wants to depend solely on cameras, which are not as dependable as LiDAR, which Waymo and I believe Zoox use. So I don't know where this is going to go. Again, we'll keep an eye on this because all things Elon, it's always interesting. All right, and that's it for this week. We hope you learned something, but if not, at least you wasted some time. We'll be back next week with more questionable advice and unsolicited opinions. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. If you prefer the video experience, you can check out our YouTube channel. And lastly, check us out on the socials. We're on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook. And sign up for our newsletter where you'll get extended show recaps and behind-the-scenes info on the show. Links are in the show notes. See you on the internet next week. Until next time, may your internet be fast, your video calls be clear, and your mute button always work when you need it most. Peace.
What do you do now,